Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with a repaint video because I have been pretty much aching to repaint this figure since I had first seen it, and I'm going to repaint it kind of into a different species because I've really been wanting to give this one the repaint of the Postosuchus from Walking with Dinosaurs. I feel like, even though it's obviously very different, I feel like it looks kind of similar at the same time. It would definitely have a fun look with that color scheme on it. So, as always, let's jump straight to it. So basically you can see what we've got so far with the figure. You can see I've dry brushed some browns and stuff over the lower half and everything, and then I went back and kind of retouched up some of the yellow spots. I may do that again just to make sure that that looks as nice as possible, and then I dry brushed the brown and everything over the reddish tones up there. But again, it's looking pretty good so far, but what we need to also do is take some of this English ivy green, and then I'm going to apply it really subtly to a few areas down here in the lower part of the body, because there are some greenish tones on the Postosuchus in Walking with Dinosaurs. It's, you know, it's tough when you see things like this because sometimes the CGI model is a little different compared to the actual kind of like animatronic type model. So again, you basically have to pick and choose and try to create it the best you can with a nice healthy dose of both. So we're going to go ahead and add some greens now to this. So now I'm basically, after this, going to take some more of the territorial beige, and I'm going to very lightly go back over the greens and try to blend them a little bit more naturally. I'll probably do that off camera just because it's going to take some precision and careful paint work. So this is basically where we are at right now. Again, looking pretty cool. The next thing I'm going to do is take some of this brown, and I'm going to just apply a little bit here and there to the back just to give a little extra variation of color. Now I'm going to dry brush some of this khaki over the face and a few other areas to lighten it up and just enhance the detail a little. at this point now, and it's really probably not looking much different from each different, addition that I add to it, but it's going to get there as we, go on. It's very small steps, but you can see I'm going to use pavement now. This I'm going to probably do off camera because I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to shave down the end so that I can very carefully go ahead and apply some of this throughout the course of the body and kind of like outline some stuff and just add a little extra with this coloration. So I'll do that, then we'll come back. So this is where we are at now. I basically took the pavement gray, I watered it down a good bit, and then I went ahead and outlined a lot of the different colors on the figure, basically the reds and yellows and stuff, and kind of like sporadically outlined. They're not perfect because that's not really the way it appears on the Postosuchus. I also took some of those colors and added it here around the mouth. If you look here, basically along the jawline on the upper and lower jaw, and then I mixed it with some browns and kind of added those in as well, and then some yellows in those areas. Again, these are very, very tiny little precise areas that are very boring to paint, so it would have been annoying for you guys to have to watch it, but now that I've blended it all together, I think it looks pretty nice, and I've also given a little hint of a dark brown around the eye, which I think will help to elaborate the coloration of the eye as well, and is also, again, what I have seen as far as the animatronic head goes for the Postosuchus in Walking with Dinosaurs. So all I really need to do basically is paint the inside of the mouth, which is going to be a purple, and then I'm going to apply some red very carefully in there, and then I'm going to paint the teeth, which I'll use a kind of like a reddish brown to start with, and then an off-white to basically go over that, and then I'll paint the nails with a black, and then we're pretty much done, I would think. So I'm going to go ahead, finish. I also might highlight the nostrils with a darker tone, but I'm going to go ahead, finish these really little, again, small, precise areas of paint work, and then we're going to bring it back and we'll check out the final product once it's finished. So my Rauisuchus is done, and here is the finished product with the Walking with Dinosaurs Postosuchus color scheme, or at least inspired by it. It's not absolutely picture perfect, but it's basically, like the gist, I would say, of the coloration of that Postosuchus. And I think it turned out pretty decent overall. I think it definitely looks really fun, and the coloration works nicely for this species. I actually may pick up another one of these at some point and give it a different coloration because I kind of feel like this figure is just so fun to repaint. I may want to do it again, but again, the coloration looks pretty good on it, and the figure, I think, in typical Mattel fashion, really has a fantastic sculpt. And once you see it again, once it's finished, and again, actually is a more intricate, not really highly detailed, but more intricate paint job to it compared to what Mattel gives it, I feel like you can really just appreciate the unbelievable sculpts that Mattel gives their figures a whole lot more, because again, they just look so much more lifelike and realistic than I think you realize with the more generic paint apps that Mattel often gives their figures. And as you can see moving through, again, I think this color scheme, like I said, just works really nicely for this figure overall, and I'm pretty happy with the final product. Hopefully you were able to follow along with the way I painted it. I basically only gave two colors to the eyes. It was like a chestnut brown and then a yellow, and then I gave it the black pupil. I was going to try to give it a little bit more of a detailed eye, but the eye is so tiny on the figure, it's a little bit hard to really get more detail into it. And then again, past that point, I basically just added a little bit more of that pavement gray here and there, and then painted the nails. And then the inside of the mouth is painted with purples and reds. And then once you apply them together, it kind of changes the colors up. And I think, again, also the teeth were painted with a slight off-white. It's actually painted with the chestnut brown, and then I put the off-white over it. And that's really all you got to do to finish the figure off. And then again, you just need to give it a nice little spray with a matte sealer, and I do spray mine with this one version that I get from Walmart because it does have a slight shine to it, which I actually kind of like. I think it helps the paint and color really pop. But in the comments section, you definitely have to let me know what you guys think of this, if you think it turned out pretty decent or if it looks hideous. I don't know. It's again, I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on it. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.